Alrighty, we're pleased to have on today a guy that is from Oxbox, Saskatchewan, former Moose Jaw Warrior, having a heck of a year in the National Hockey League, currently plays for the Nashville Predators, all-around great dude. Happy to have on today, Tanner Jeannot.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. I always love that awkward pause. So they're waiting for one more question. Jan, let's get right into it here. What's up with you? What's going on? What's happening?
Oh, not a lot. Just got back from a road trip. We were coming from Edmonton a couple days ago, so had a couple days off. Just got back to the rink today. Had practice today, and just watching some football today now. So not too much going on.
Deadly, and I don't know if it's out there for everyone to see, but you're having a baby, I heard, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. It's supposed to be coming early April, so it'll be awesome.
You missed the line. Awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, I want to get right into this right away. Obviously, you're watching football. I don't want to keep you too long, but let's backtrack to growing up in Oxbow. What was that like? Sorts of hobbies you're up to? Obviously, playing hockey, but growing up in Oxbow, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it's definitely a small town. Growing up, you have the same classmates for the whole way through all the way through grade 12, so you get to know some people pretty good. I still got some really good friends from back there that I grew up with, so just classic small town things. Going out to there's a dam by there, so we'd go fishing all the time after school and doing that kind of stuff, just screwing around in the small town. There's not a lot to do other than just hang out with your friends and try not to get into too much trouble. But yeah, I loved it. It's a great place, and I loved growing up in the small town and having that kind of atmosphere growing up. It was great.
The Huskies.
So they're called?
That's right.
Yeah, the Oxbow
Huskies.
Really?
Oxbow Huskies, baby.
Yeah. So you play your minor hockey in Estevan, and then you move on. In your final year of minor hockey, you moved to Yorkton, played for the Harvest, and had a solid year. Walk us through your AAA experience in your minor hockey career.
Yeah, so my first year in midget, I got cut from Tisdale. I went and tried out in Tisdale and got cut from there, so I ended up having to go back to Estevan and played midget AA there. And then the next year, I went to Yorkton's tryout and had a really good camp, so I signed there and played that my 16-year-old year there, and we had a pretty good year. We ended up losing to Notre Dame in the playoffs, but it was a good year. And I ended up getting, I think I was listed with Yorkton at the time, but I ended up getting traded in the SJHL to Kindersley. So I ended off that year playing a couple playoff games with Kindersley that year, which was pretty cool. And then the following year after that, my last year of midget eligibility, I went to Moose Jaw Warriors tryout and ended up making it out of camp there. So that was kind of my midget career, and then my junior career started.
Speaking of, so junior career, you end up playing 4 years for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Obviously, you just mentioned how it all worked out. So were you listed with Moose Jaw, or did you just walk out?
No, yeah, kind of the same thing. I just went to camp as an invite, not listed, not drafted or anything, and then kind of just had a good camp, made a bit of a name for myself, and made an impression on the coach. And I actually got sent back. I got sent back to Kindersley originally after that camp for about a week, and then a week after the camp, they actually called me back because they said they had some guys.
Cut the wrong guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they called me back, and I ended up playing the whole year there, and the next 3 years after that too.
So in your last year, you had 80 points, 40 tucks in the Western League. I mean, I almost did that in junior B. But obviously 40 goals in the Western Hockey League is impressive. You play with some great players, obviously like Brett Howden, Gregor, Hobblewalks. Walk us through that season.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite seasons so far. We had, like you said, just such a good team. I was playing with really good players, like you said, like Hobbs and Howden, but I was with Braden Burke and Justin Almeida a little bit too there. So we had a really good team, and it's really easy to play good with good players. So we ended up winning actually the regular season that year. So yeah, like we had a really good team. I think with the 80 points, I was still, fourth or fifth on my team in scoring for points, which is nuts
Crazy.
to think
You guys were
about.
nasty.
That was the year that Hobbsy had
Yeah.
70 goals that year. So it was pretty fun, but great memories from that year. It was great. It's not the way we wanted to end it out. Lost in the second round of Swift Current there, but we'll get to that another day. I don't need to talk about that today.
That whole East Division was just disgusting that year.
Yeah.
That was the year that Regina was hosting. So
Yeah.
us and Swift finished 1-2, and then Regina was kind of stacking up for hosting the Mem Cup. So yeah, it was definitely a crazy division.
Jan, before Turner jumps in here, I want to ask you, I mean, obviously the 80 points, you mentioned you had a lot of success and played with some good players. When did it kind of go, hey, like I could do this for a full-time job? Like, when does it, cluing for you?
Yeah, like it was really not like I had been to a couple NHL camps in the years before when I was 18 and 19. But I wasn't drafted or I wasn't signed with anyone or anything. So it was kind of not until I signed my first contract when I was 20 that my last year there in the Dub, and it was in playoffs right after the first round of playoffs, I signed my first contract. So really it was right up into the end of my junior career that I was like, well, I'm probably going to be going to play CIS next year or something like that. So really it was not until then that I kind of got my opportunity, and from there just kind of went from there.
Awesome.
All right. So you moved to the American League. Did you play in the A after you guys lost out with Moose Jaw, or did you start the full season there?
No. Yeah. Milwaukee didn't make the playoffs that year. So as soon as I was done in Moose Jaw, I just was done for that year, and then I went the next year.
Yeah. All right. So walk us through your time in the American League. Like, do you believe it obviously, do you believe it helped you like make that jump? And
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So my first year was pretty tough. I was the new guy, so I was getting, the new guy playing time and not getting too many opportunities, but I was starting to kind of get going on a roll a little bit, playing better, getting some more opportunities, and then I ended up breaking my collarbone that year, so I had to miss I don't even know, like 3 months of the season. I got back just in time for playoffs, so most of the year I was injured that year, and then came back and played a few games in playoffs, but that was it. So didn't really get to show them who I was as a player really that year. And then the next year coming back, I was kind of the odd man out again, just with, every year there's new guys coming in. They had signed some new guys out of college that were, they're rookies, but they're older than me. And, they've developed a little bit and they wanted to see what they could do. So I ended up being the odd man out, and I actually got sent down to the coast at the start of that year, my second year. Played about 5 games in the coast. I did really well. I think I had, 6 goals, 3 assists or something in 5 games in the coast, and ended up getting called back and spent the rest of the year in Milwaukee after that. Didn't get sent down again. And actually that year was the year COVID stopped us, and we had a really good team. We actually ended up first in the whole American League when it stopped. So kind of AHL champion, I guess, because we didn't get to play playoffs.
Yeah.
But so that was that year. And then last year, my last year of my contract, Milwaukee, Nashville's affiliate in the American League opted out because they couldn't have fans, and they just decided they couldn't make it work financially or anything. So they didn't play. So we ended up having to share an American League team with Carolina in Chicago. So I played for the Chicago Wolves. So that was really cool experience for me just because it was a new kind of dynamic, new coach. Our coaches from Milwaukee were still there, but we just had, different looks and everything. And it was a younger team, so I got put into kind of a leadership role. I wore a letter there. So that was kind of cool. And then I got a lot more opportunities than I had in the years past. I was on the power play. I was first on the penalty kill and everything like that. And I ended up playing really well. I think I had 21 points in 13 games or something like that. I can't really remember, but it earned me my first call up to the NHL. Played my first game in February last year, I'm pretty sure it was, against Carolina, and did all right. We kind of got smoked that game by them, but so I didn't get to play too much, but got sent down, and then a couple weeks later got called back up, and I ended up sticking around for the rest of the year that year. So, and now this year I've been here all year, so it's been good.
And you're having a year. Tanner, I want to backtrack a little bit. I mean, when you went from the American League to the East Coast, like, was there ever a time like, I know enough guys that have played pro or Western League and they're like, I'm done. The grind's too hard. I'm going to play senior back home in Oxbow, or, like, was there ever a time you're just like, I'm tired, or how do you persevere and, get there?
Yeah, that's definitely, like, I think the hardest part of, being a pro athlete is the mental toughness you have to have and all the ups and downs that you go through. Getting sent down at that time when, I thought I was doing pretty good when I got injured, and then I missed the rest of the year being injured, and then I was excited to get back the next year so I could finally have like a good year, and then I end up starting down on the coast where you don't want to be. But so, yeah, you definitely find yourself thinking at that time, like, well, what's plan B here? Like, what am I going to do if this doesn't work out the way I wanted to? But yeah, so you have those thoughts, but I just wanted to, put my work boots on and get back as quick and efficiently as I could. So, and thankfully it didn't last too long down there, and went back and just didn't look back from there. Just wanted to stay there and then keep moving up levels.
So when you were playing and you weren't getting those opportunities and they were bringing in new guys, were you talking to the coaches and management, and were you like, what's going on here? Or were they trying to like help you out or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I remember the meeting when I got sent down. There's like, you don't always get 100% of the information from, what they're getting in those meetings, but sometimes it comes down to numbers and stuff. And like, obviously the player has to perform and everything, but just in that kind of situation where the season hadn't even started yet, sometimes it's just a numbers thing. So I drew the short end of the stick and I went down, but so that's kind of the mental toughness you have to have too, because sometimes it's not even in your control that those decisions are made. So like it's you try to get as much information as you can, but obviously they're not going to tell you everything all the time. So
no, they won't. Tanner, you mentioned your first NHL game. Walk us through the obviously, you guys got shit kicked or whatever, but I want to know about the phone call, like you're getting called up the day leading up to it, and also just, how special was that for you and your family?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was actually both my wife Keely and I we had driven from Chicago to Milwaukee because we had to go to our storage unit there with all our furniture and things that we had in Milwaukee from the year before in there. So we were doing that all day the day before, and get back in the car and I look at my phone and I see I got a missed call from Scott Nhl, who was the GM of Milwaukee and the head of player development for Nashville. And I was like, oh no, like what's going on? And then so I call him back. I had a message on my phone and it's like, hey, give me a call when you can. Like nothing. He's not acting like
monotone.
Call him back, and he asked, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm just getting some stuff in Milwaukee. What's up? He said, well, I hope you got a lot of stuff because you're coming up to Nashville. So that was pretty
Sick.
It was pretty incredible when that happened. I got to share it with my wife and immediately called my parents after that, and then just calling all the family I could, and just kind of ecstatic. I don't even remember seeing the road on the drive home just because I was so happy. But it was definitely really cool. It was unfortunate that it was COVID was going on and my parents couldn't make it down for my first game. But it was definitely an incredible feeling.
Do your parents come and watch quite a bit, or are they just sticking around at home?
They're both retired now, so they came down for the start of the year. We had a pretty big homestand at the start of the year, and they got to see like 4 or 5 games at the start of the year. So they got to, and I scored a goal in front of them, which was pretty sweet. So that was their first time seeing me in the NHL. And then they're actually coming down here mid-February for we're playing that Stadium Series game against Tampa Bay here in Nashville. So they're coming down for that. That's going to be a pretty sweet thing.
It's gonna be so sick.
They're
and
flying
then they're
down
planning
on,
on
it was PJ private jet. So they're sending down on.
maybe the next contract. We'll see. I don't know.
Do your work, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're coming down for when the babies do. So they're going to be down for quite a bit. So it'll be good.
Awesome, man. Jay, first NHL goal, and who was it on?
It was against Tampa Bay. It wasn't Vasilevsky, so it was honestly, I don't even remember his name. I can't remember who it was, but I can tell you, I can walk you through how it happened and everything.
Yeah, let's go. Get into it.
All right. So I remember it was Luke Shen was pinching down on me. I chipped the puck by him. My line mate Yakov Trenin went down, kind of forced the puck. They tried turning it up the boards, passed it to a guy. I forechecked, kind of poked it by, went right back to Trenin. He got a shot on net. Rebound at the side of the net for me, and I just kind of flicked it over his stick and then blacked out after that. I can't tell you what happened after that. I was too happy.
Was it in Nashville that you scored?
Yeah, it was, but COVID, so it was like 25% capacity or something, but still I didn't care.
And that
awesome.
horn going off too. That's the loudest horn I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, I want to ask you, going from junior to pro, after you scored 40 in the Western League, obviously we talked about your team, but still it takes anyone, or not anyone, it takes a special person to score 40 goals in junior hockey. But what was the biggest adjustment for you think, going from, being a skilled guy in junior and now changing a little bit of your game to match the NHL game?
Yeah. I think that the mindset of it is definitely a big part, going from, if you're scoring 40 goals in a year, you're getting a lot of offensive opportunities like on the power play, and you're getting ozone draws and things like that. So I wasn't going to be getting that in pro. So that was just kind of the mindset focus and what I needed to be good at on the ice, instead of trying to make the toe drag or the pass through the triangle at the blue line. I'm, maybe going to take it wide or dump it in and go get the puck instead of doing that. But so the mindset, and then just getting the systems that your team plays with down and, kind of trying to perfect that, because that's the biggest thing for me from pro and junior. Is junior, everyone, you have a system, but everyone's still kind of just playing, and their skills trying to come out and everything. But in pro, everyone's playing the system, and if you're not, then you're getting sent down or you're not playing or whatever. So, and that's what makes it so hard to score, especially in the American League, when everyone's trying to play so hard defensively. Yeah. So that was the biggest thing, is just making sure I knew exactly what I was doing in the system, and playing good defensively, and playing a good power forward kind of checking role, and not trying to do too many skilled things out there.
All right. That's the great thing about pro, is like, they're not always looking for like the best guys when you're trying to move up the ranks. They're trying to look for the right guys, right? So
Strategic.
Well, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like once you get to that level, you can just go be yourself and wait
Yeah.
for the right time for when
Yeah.
Nashville needed a guy like you to just be heavy.
Exactly.
Play
Yeah.
simple. So,
Yeah, you definitely have to know the type of player you are and what you're good at, and just what you can bring to the team. And when guys like that go down, you know that's your opportunity, and you see what they're doing and why they're there, and you just try to match that.
absolutely. All right, let's talk about the year you're having right now. I mean, you're buzzing, playing well, you're putting up lots of points. I know you kind of like you almost took the league by shock, right? Like everyone's like, "Who's this kid? You're dummying guys."
You're
So
beating the wheels off the
yeah.
big boys.
But yeah, just walk us through your year right now and how supportive everyone's been for you.
Oh yeah, it's been really great. You know, I knew I had a lot of I was kind of putting some pressure, I guess, on myself. Not really pressure, but a standard on myself, you know, with that in the summer there getting kind of protected. And, you know, I didn't really pay attention to what was going on in the media or anything. Some people might have been like, well, who the heck's this guy that's getting protected? But
Yeah,
I kind of just took it as I want to prove these guys right for putting that vote of confidence in me. And so that was kind of my focus in the off season. I wanted to continue to develop and get better, and then come back and show them that they made the right decision to do that, and show them what I can do and how I can help the team. So yeah, there's different ways that I can do that. Sometimes it's, you know, getting in on the forecheck and hitting a guy and getting the puck back, or sometimes it's dropping the gloves and fighting a guy, or sometimes it's scoring goals, which has been, you know, working pretty well for me this year. And thanks to my line mates as well. I think we all play kind of a similar game, which really helps. And we have that chemistry. So yeah, it's been super good. And like I said, you talked about the support, and all my teammates have been really great for doing that. All my family and friends from back home, I've been getting texts all the time, just about, you know, everyone's saying how great of a season I'm having and that they're proud of me and stuff. So every time I get a text like that, it just kind of motivates me a little bit more to keep going and keep trying to get better every day and not be satisfied with where I'm at, but continue to have success and help the team win. And hopefully we've been doing pretty good lately, so hopefully we can do something pretty special this year.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jan. No worries.
Yeah.
You know, this is funny because when this thing drops, I don't know what it is, Turner. We're probably on a streaker now. Everyone that comes on the podcast gets a Hosel bump. I don't know what it is. We mentioned a name. We were guest on. They did a full-time job somewhere. They score a hat trick. So, yeah, you're welcome. Keep it going.
There we go.
We got to talk quickly here about your golf game. I don't know. We talked a little bit in the summer here. You must play some sweet tracks down there. I mean, let's get into it. How's the golf game?
Well, my golf game is not that good, but yeah, I have played some really nice courses. There's a course here called Troubadour. That's awesome. You know, some of the guys have a place out there, so they'll bring us out there sometimes, and it's great. And then just a few of the public courses around here. It's been a little bit cold recently, so haven't really been able to go out, but hopefully pretty soon here we'll be able to get out there again. I'm actually going to Florida for All-Star break here, and we're planning to do the Blue Monster at the Trump's course there. So
Right.
that'll be a pretty sweet one to do, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna stink because I haven't played very much, but it'll be a fun time.
Okay, let's go to our segment called Questions from the Gallery, sponsored by Rubber Co. Rubber Co was founded in 2021. 100% recycled rubber company. We have numerous pieces to fill your needs, such as rubber flooring, rubber parking blocks, training tools, and many others. You can check us out at rubbercrow.com or call today at 306-541-9840. Think with your head and choose the right rubber. Rubber Crow. Fuck, boys, that's good. That's good. It's my new company, Jan. We got a new one.
Oh yeah,
New company.
nice.
Okay.
Think with your head.
Think with your head.
What a line.
Made that up on the spot today. I love it. Okay. What is that city like? Like, what are the fans like? That place looks like unbelievable to play in. Like, what are the fans like? What's like outside of hockey too? It must be just buzzing all the time.
Yeah, there's a great energy here. Like it's growing like crazy. It's not the biggest city, but it's gonna be big in a few years here, and the fans are incredible. Like they're so loud. I remember thinking back to last year and in the playoffs where I kind of noticed it and I was like, holy man, this is crazy for the first time, where it was during a TV break and they did like the make some noise kind of thing, like get the crowd going. And everyone just started yelling, and then they turned all the music off and there was no sound other than the crowd. And it was louder than any music I've heard like in an arena. It was crazy. Like
Wow.
our coach was talking to us and you couldn't even hear him. Like you had to get super close just so you could hear him. But everyone kind of just took that moment in. Everyone was just looking around and looking at each other, and we're just saying, this is nuts. Like there's so many great fans here. It's awesome.
It's so sick when when the whole crowd's singing. There's always
Oh.
videos that come out about that in
I
Nashville.
love it. Oh, that
Sick.
chant you guys, the fans do in Nashville. It's all your fault. And holy shit, man! I hate to
Yeah.
get goalie in that ring.
Every goal we score. Yeah.
That's nasty. Do you ever go see like Vanderbilt games? Like, do you ever go to the school and see some of their athletics?
No, I haven't got to any Vanderbilt games yet. I've seen the stadium and everything. We actually got to go do like a little home run derby at
Yeah.
their baseball stadium,
they're-
and then
Their program's unreal for baseball.
yeah, I've heard that too. So, and then in the summertime when I came for like development camps and stuff, we would go to their football stadium and do outdoor workouts and things like that. So it's cool facility. I've been around there, but I haven't got a chance to see any games yet.
Awesome. Rip.
We're doing the
Question for the gallery.
question for the gallery. Sleeping here. What's your favorite beverage after a round of golf
Beverage after a round of golf
or during?
Yeah.
or during?
Yeah, we got shredded about that with
Yeah.
Dragger.
Darren Drager's like, why can't I drink on the golf course? Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, in the summertime, I'm a big fan of kokanee beer. I love kokanee. I don't know how that's gonna go
thing I've
over,
ever heard
but
in my life.
it's great beer. I love that beer.
Did you say an
So,
Oxbox thing?
Yeah, it was
It
Oxbox.
must be because that's what we drink down there sometimes. So
Okay. And what else? That's it? Just Kokanee? I was told an Oxbow.
yeah, I'd say that'd be my favorite one. But whatever is in the cooler.
There's a good answer. I love that one. Okay. Who's the DJ in the locker room?
There's a few different ones. Normally it's Colton Sissons, but Ryan Johansson does it sometimes, and yeah, mostly those two.
Hey, maybe you'll answer this question for me. Why does he do his tape job like that? Yuck.
Who's that? Johansson?
Yeah.
Because he's
I couldn't.
He is nasty.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a reason.
Cam must run through blades like crazy. All the toes are probably all chipped.
Yeah,
Sticks.
yeah. I'm not sure why he does it like that.
Dirt.
Here, do you like change up your equipment much? Like, are you always like tinkering with stuff? Like, I know in our summer skate, the CCM rep came out and you were asking shit about the blades and stuff like that. Are you always doing stuff like that?
No, the only reason I did that was because I've had the same stick since like my second year of junior. So I was like, I need to change this up. Like it was just old, and it wasn't even what I thought it was. Not like after talking to that guy, I thought it was something, and he told me, no, it's not that, it's this. So that's the only thing I've changed this year is my stick. Other than that, I hate new equipment. Like I'll wear something until it's falling apart, and then I'll get it stitched up and wear it again. But so yeah, I'm not picky like that. Even like when I cut my sticks, it doesn't matter if they're kind of off a little bit. I'm not really picky about that.
I love that. I love it. Jay, who's the best chirps on the team?
Nick Cousins, for sure. He's always chirping. He's just never shutting up. It's so funny to hear him on the bench. Like if we're losing a game and I'm sitting beside him, I can't sit beside him because I just start laughing. That's so fun. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny. Do you got a pregame routine? Like what are you doing during the day of a game?
Day of a game. If we're at home, we'll have breakfast at the rink and then do our skate, come back home, usually take the dog for a walk and then have a nap. And then I like to go pretty early to the rink. I'm usually there around 4:15 for a 7:00 game. So go do that. I like to, get all my stuff ready, take my stick, change my license if I need to, and get all warmed up. I love playing soccer before the game, so always doing that. Yeah, it's pretty basic, nothing crazy.
Pregame meal.
Usually it's
Chipotle.
like spaghetti, pasta, with chicken. And okay, here's one thing I do that everyone makes fun of me for is every time there's buns at our pregame meal, I'll make like a chicken sandwich with the bun, and no one does that, and they all make fun of me for it. But
That's a small town Saskatchewan thing to do right there. That's like Thanksgiving extra buns for the week. Oh yeah,
meat platter.
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah,
sir, there's one more there. Yep.
I'm doing off off record here.
Oh, I like it.
Is there like who besides McDavid, who's the best player, like the hardest guy to play against? Like I know you got that shutdown role, so you're obviously playing against some of the top guys every night. So who's a guy like that you can't stop, or it's like, geez, I can't keep up to this guy.
Besides McDavid,
yeah.
Well, I'll do another besides McKinnon too because he's crazy fast. And I remember this one time he was on the power play and I was the F1 on the forecheck for the PK. And you're supposed to try and gap up and get some speed to go with him because he's their drop guy. And I tried and I thought I had some pretty good speed and he just head faked one way, 2 crossovers the other, and was past me like so fast. So other than him too, Boston, like that Boston line with Marchand and like Bergeron and Smith was playing with them at that game, but that was a crazy hard line to shut down, and Pasternak too is out there sometimes, so that was a hard game for sure.
Best NHL moment to date.
Ooh, that's a tough one too. They're all so good. My first goal was awesome. That's probably the number one to date so far.
Love it.
There we go.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. This can be anyone. Who's your ultimate foursome?
Oh, love this question.
For golf?
Yep, for golf.
Yeah, on the golf course.
Let me see. That is a tough one. We'll go Tom Brady because he's the GOAT. And then like Biz and Whitney because they're so
good.
funny.
Oh, there we go.
We've never heard of those
Chicklets.
before. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
That'd
That'd be a fun day, I think.
That would be.
That would be good. You'd have Tom Brady like say like 9 words, and then Biz running around.
I don't know. I think those guys would open them up.
Think so? Yeah, maybe they would. Yeah,
absolutely. I just had a buddy who was hanging out with those guys in
Really?
Orlando. So Chicklets guys in Orlando.
Oh yeah, I saw they had that game, like the Pink Whitney jersey night or something.
Yeah. So I know Ian Parker while he plays for the Solar Bears, and he said that like, do you know Ian at all? I guess you would have played against him in midget.
No, but I know Tristan Lang, and he was playing there.
Oh yeah, is he still there?
I saw he just signed a contract with PTO with the Moose, so he's probably there.
Good for him. Yeah. So, anyways, they were at this game and they went and hung out with all the Solar Bears after. Ian said that like Biz was at his house until like 5 a.m. Just crippled. That's unbelievable. He said like Whit and Grinelli left at like 1 a.m., but Biz stayed there all night, like wouldn't leave.
What a legend. That guy
Jeez.
parties hard, works hard too. Tanner, I have one last one for you here. We always usually end the podcast with this one. I don't know if Turner, if you have any more before I ask this one, but just some advice, for a young listener. Obviously, your profession's different than others, but whether it's to be a pro hockey player, pro baseball player, doctor, just some advice for a young listener that wants to be successful in life.
Yeah, something my dad always tells me is just control what you can control, and I think no matter what in life you're going through, whether it's sports or academics, whatever you're doing, there's always going to be something that happens to you that you can't control. And in my situation, for example, it was getting sent down or not getting playing time that I wish I was. That's none of that stuff is in my control. All I could control is what I do every day to get better, and how I'm going to try and earn that opportunity. So I think that's the biggest thing. Control you can control and work hard. Like, hard work never goes unnoticed. So that's all I did. I got to the NHL by working hard. I'm not a skilled guy or anything like that by any means. So hard work can can make your dreams come true.
Yeah, well said. Well, Tanner, Jeannot, this has been a great interview today. You keep ripping it up in the National Hockey League. Hope you win that Rookie of the Year award. We're rooting for you. Yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on today. Thanks again.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.